What's up, everybody? Welcome into episode 48 of the Watchlist podcast. I am your host for today's show, joined alongside Christian and Jagger. Missing two usual faces today. Jordan has the flu, and he's traveling down south to be with some family, so hopefully he gets better. And unfortunately, with just the scheduling this week, it just didn't work out to be on with Jacob this week. But they will be back next week, and it will all be normal. First and foremost, we'll just go around the table as usual. This is, again, our Stranger Things Volume 2 episode. Make sure to tune into last week's episode, which was the holdovers, as well as Avatar, Fire, and Ash. And there was a third one.
Marty Supreme.
Holdovers, or Marty Supreme. Jeez, how can I forget? How can I forget Marty Supreme? And yeah, so make sure to tune into that. And without further ado, we'll jump into this week's episode, but I'll start with Jagger, who's in a new location. So what's going on, Jagger?
Yeah, this is about my 8th location probably on the podcast. I just keep moving around. I'm currently visiting Sophia in South Carolina, so I'm currently in her mom's office. This is the third location that they've seen me on already. I'm apparently talking low, so I'll try and speak louder this episode. Let's go over the watches this week. This is Spinal Tap, Rob Reiner. Finally got to watching it. Little rockumentary it's called. Pretty cool, pretty funny. Rewatched Blade Runner, the original. Lowered it from 5 to a 4.5. I still think it's phenomenal though. Got an early screener for We Bury the Dead, which comes out on January 2nd. So that's my first 2026 release. Daisy Ridley, not a zombie movie as advertised. So if you go see it, don't go in with that predetermined notion because it kind of took away from my experience. But still a pretty good movie. Under the Skin, Scarlett Johansson's weirdest movie I've seen by far. I'd love for you to watch it, Christian, and hear your thoughts. Batshit crazy.
All right, I'll put it on the watch list right now. Yeah.
Some people have it rated very highly. I'm the lowest out of all my mutuals. But rewatched Marty Supreme on Christmas Eve. Same sentiments as the first time. Absolutely unreal. And then actually on my flight down here yesterday, I listened to the Big Picture podcast. They were talking about it, and then they had Josh Safdie on, and hearing Josh Safdie talk about it was special. Definitely give it a listen. It was like 2 hour, 20 minutes, but flew by. It was super fun. There is, he talked about an alternate ending that they had filmed, which I'll talk to you guys about off air because I don't want to spoil anything here, but it would have been pretty sick to see. 5-star first watch, Solaris, Andrei Tarkovsky, absolutely unreal. Came down on Christmas morning to my dad watching one battle after another. That was special, so I watched the rest with that. That's the third time I've seen it this year. 2.5, we'll count it. But I got to show Sophia that before awards season. Another Rob Reiner, Few Good Men, finally knocked off You Can't Handle the Truth off of the watch lists. Very good. Black Bag, very mid, not great. Coherence was super fun. It was done for under $50,000. You can definitely tell, but how do I explain it? The premise is so cool. I absolutely love that. And then I finished off with an airplane watch of The Hidden Fortress, another Kurosawa. I think that's my 8th. I think it's my 5th favorite as of right now, landed in my ranking. But that was me. Keep watching Twin Peaks: The Return. I have about 5 or 6 episodes left, so almost done with that. You guys saw I got my David Lynch coffee book, so I'm going to try and read through that whenever I have time once I finish The Return. That's me this week. I don't know how many movies I'll get to this week. I am going to see Housemaid tonight with Sophia and her sister. I've heard interesting things, and then this week I do want to go and see Marty Supreme again for the 3rd time because it is that good.
You should tell the viewers what you got for Christmas. Some of those new additions.
They need to check out my TikTok if they're not already. But I got the Batman Steelbook. I got a Dune Part 2 collector's Steelbook with two Steelbooks in it. It was pretty awesome. What else did I get? I mean, the Dune, the David Lynch thing was cool. But also,
yep.
I was going to post something. My parents got me a private cinema for one night where it's a movie and a dinner with me and 3 other guests. So me and Sophia, the 2 others. And I'm not sure if I was like, do I want to do a double date? Or do I want to invite you guys? What do I want to do? Like, what movie? So I was thinking, like, I don't know. I haven't figured this out yet, but apparently I can request to put whatever movie I want. And the two options I'm like, I want are Heat and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I'm thinking I got some decisions
You
to
could literally
make.
do any movie. Any movie.
I gotta. It's like extra money for me from them to like actually get the film. But like I could go in there and watch like Blue Velvet. I saw they had a list, but it's not extensive. Like I could put Sentimental Value or Marty
Wow.
Supreme on it, but I want something like old. Like I think Heat's got to be the option.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be the choice.
That's really cool.
Well, listen, it's no pressure. There will be no feelings hurt if you go one way or the other. I don't know who you were planning on asking, but if we're in the running, then again, no pressure, no questions asked. But that's sick. That's actually really cool. And Merry Christmas to Jagger, you and yours.
Merry
Hope it was a
Christmas,
good week.
brother. Happy holidays.
Christian, what about you?
Yeah, busy time with the holidays, obviously. Had some friends back home. Jordan was back home, saw him a couple of times. Just being in the new apartment, I had a bunch of hangouts over here with my high school friends, with all of you guys, which was a lot of fun. We had the families come over, so very busy time, just a lot of moving around from house to house. Shout out Miss Stewart on the podcast for hosting us for Christmas Day dinner. That was awesome. That's our history teacher from high school. That was a lot of fun. But
That might sound funny, but a bit of context. Our sister Gabby is engaged to her son, so
yeah, yep, exactly. So it was a good time though. We had a good time. In terms of watches, not too much. We're gonna get into Stranger Things Volume 2. I have been watching Adolescence. I've gotten
Ooh.
through 3 episodes, and it is very good. It definitely is very good, and that child actor deserves all the credit that he got. He is excellent. Um,
Is
recommend
it
it
four
if you guys haven't
episodes or
seen it. I
five
don't know.
episodes?
It's either 5 or 6.
I thought
Either
it was
5 or
4.
6. Maybe it is
So
4.
conflicting
I could be.
answers.
I mean, it
Maybe
could
I'm
be wrong.
wrong.
It could be 5. It could be 6.
Sophia absolutely loved
Maybe I'm.
Adolescence. Loved it. I know Rachel loved it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Rachel loved it, and Jacob also loved it. Loved it. So he was like, that could be the best TV show of the year. So I wanted to check it out. And it's one of those TV shows I believe is shot all in one cut, which is pretty cool. So,
It's sick.
and the guy from that was just casted possibly in Heat, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was
the
going to bring
dad.
that up in the
Yeah,
news.
the dad.
Maybe cast as Neil, a young Neil McCauley, which Robert De Niro at the time of filming Heat was 52, the same age as Stephen Graham, I believe his name is, which is a very interesting
Yeah.
casting. I have mixed emotions if it happens. He was offered the role. He did not.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's accepted yet.
I will say he's been excellent in Adolescence, so we'll see. Other than that, I did watch Lawrence of Arabia, which that is an experience, to say the least. That is damn near a 4-hour movie, so it's really like you're going on an adventure through Cairo and Arabia across the continent, and it's just it really is a special experience. I check out my Letterboxd review. I wrote that it was maybe the best looking movie I've seen. The scale of it is by far the biggest I've ever seen. We think of the scales that Nolan and Denis put on. This movie actually makes some of those movies feel small. And we were talking about it. It's like, could the Odyssey possibly have a scale that large? I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible to replicate what I just saw on the screen the other day. I couldn't even believe it. Yeah, loved it. I gave that one a 5-star right off of rip, and maybe I jumped the gun. I don't know, but I put it right into my top 15 right away. I was like, this movie
I'm
blew
looking
me
at
the
it right
fuck
now.
away.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
immediately things that jump off are one spot ahead of Interstellar, and then 2 spots ahead of Donnie Darko, which you absolutely love Donnie Darko.
yeah. So, but like the crazy part is this movie's 4 hours, and that's a hard movie to get through, right? 4 hours. But I'm thinking, you know what? I could see this movie as being rewatchable. It was that enjoyable. I loved it, and I'm definitely excited to check it out again, hopefully soon. because I really enjoyed it. And usually I like to watch a movie twice to really put it into my rankings, but this one just really blew me away. I just had to do it. So yeah, that was an awesome experience. Watched that with my two brothers. So all of our first time watches for that. So that was
That's
awesome.
why you watched it. Cole was also like,
Yeah.
let's watch Lawrence of Arabia. Okay.
Yeah, he said that was his biggest blind spot, and he was like, "Let's just do it," and we did it, and it was special. So, yep, that's what I
The
did. What
next
about you,
time,
Chase?
because I did when I watched it. I'm not Chase, but when I watched it, I watched but I was like on my phone a little bit every once in a while. Watched it in the middle of the day, but I wasn't fully locked in. I still thought it was phenomenal. But next time we're all gonna watch together, we'll hopefully be in the cinemas, and we'll watch straight
Oh
all the
yeah,
way through 3 hours and 40 minutes.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I did mention in my review for it that I do think watching it in the theaters would elevate the experience to just a totally different tier. Christian mentioned the scale of it. I think it's I don't know if you had mentioned the scores, but or the score, not the scores, the score. It's like immediately into my imaginary list of that we always talk about of top 10 scores ever. So, um, not much to really nitpick about it. The only thing for me is we watched it in like felt like 4 or 5 sittings, which was not fun. Um, and it just like the story just didn't hit me to the core, like I guess like it did to Christian. Um, but a lot of that I feel like probably did have to do with like the couple different sittings. Maybe I just wasn't as locked in as I should have been, but nonetheless, just super impressive. Such a fun thing to tackle with Christian and our other brother Cole.
Yeah,
Um, but that was it for my watches on Christmas. It's just been such a busy week. Um, had a lot to do this week, and it's finally simmering down. But um, again, we're gonna go into Stranger Things. If you're listening, we're doing this is our Stranger Things episode for Volume 2. But before we do so, Jagger is gonna run us through some news, and we'll say whether or not we're in or out, and then we will tackle Stranger Things.
Yes, I am. We just talked about it. Stephen Graham offered a role as young Neil Macaulay. Um, in case we get any spoilers talking about this from Heat, just skip a couple minutes or something. What do you guys think?
just seeing him in adolescence immediately after, I was like, okay, I'm in on this casting. I didn't know too much about him, and I saw his acting ability, and I was like, okay, this could make sense. But you do bring up a good point with the age. That is interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about him outside of like Christian just said. I haven't seen the show, but I mean, I'm in on Heat too, so I'm excited for whatever road they take.
I think it's impossible to be out on Heat 2 with the amount of acting, like the actors and actresses we've seen attached. Like, this could be the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, could be.
Not if the
If it's
Odyssey has anything to
It
say
makes me
about it.
nervous.
if the Odyssey doesn't take the cake, we'll see.
It makes me incredibly nervous because do you think that there is a story to tell, or do you think this is more of like, okay, let's try to make a sequel and like as a money grab and just like try to write something, or do you think there truly is a story to tell here?
There,
I think there could be a story to tell.
there is a
Uh,
book. Like, the book's already been written by Michael Mann, and like it came out
Okay, I didn't know that.
years ago, whatever it is. I'm not reading it. I won't. But I mean, if the studios have greenlit the film based off this book, I would think that there is enough behind it, and the fact that Leo and so many people are behind it, hope.
Yeah. So who are the confirmed castings? You just said Leo. Who
Driver,
else? Driver's in it.
Austin Butler, right?
Yeah.
Butler.
Those Bale is attached. I don't know. I don't know how many are confirmed, but I know there's a bunch attached. Jeremy Allen White is attached. Anya de Armas is attached to it. Like, there are a lot of people attached, but I don't know how many people have actually been offered roles outside of Stephen Graham, Leo, Adam Driver, and Austin Butler.
Pretty
Oh,
sick.
Yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be an experience. That's for sure.
it's a ride. Next piece, or so we're all in on that. Next piece of news.
Yeah.
This is the third leak of of the Marvel over the last few weeks of X-Men Doomsday trailer leak. Did you guys see it? I think it leaked today.
I actually didn't see this one.
I saw I saw like a picture from the clip, but I didn't watch the clip. No, because it was like iPhone 3rd generation quality.
Yeah, they got as the days gone on, it's gotten better quality that I've seen. But like, people are now everyone on Twitter is completely flipping sides, and they're like, "We're so bought in on Doomsday. Like, we're like, just this is what we needed to see. This is
Really?
it. Yes." I mean,
A day after we drop our clip of saying that they're nostalgia baiting.
yes, yes. Now everyone's fucking switching sides. They're like, the Watchlist podcast is out. We're in.
That's funny.
It is. I would if you guys would watch. It is interesting, and I would say I've never said that I was out, but I've never said like I'm fully in. But like, I will be there opening night to watch it. I still love
Oh, yeah.
like Marvel. I don't expect it to be good at all, but like, this clip and the specific stuff that is in it is fucking sick. One thing is sick.
Yeah.
One thing, and that's all they needed to give me, and that's all. And then I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Did you find a good quality trailer? Because I'll watch it when we're done recording.
Yeah.
If you do, send it to me.
I am getting spammed on my Twitter timeline. It's either Stranger Things, just everyone shitting on it, or it's X-Men Doomsday trailer.
Damn.
Can't find one now, but
I'm not out on Doomsday like you said, Jagger. I'm just like very, very cautious with low expectations, I feel like, for me personally.
Yeah, I think you lower expectations, go in with it, and try to have a fun time. That's kind of what it is. And I think for me, I'll probably see Doomsday first, just because I don't want to get anything leaked. But I'll try to do it both those movies in one day.
No, we're not. We're not. I'm gonna try and do both. Absolutely. Whenever I start working up back again, I will request off of work that day. Because I see, I'll try and see. I'll buy the first fucking ticket to go see Messiah, and the second ticket will be later that day for Doomsday. And then I'll go the next day and I'll go rewatch Messiah again, and I'll do a little Doomsday sandwich.
Fair.
Yeah. Next up, John Madden biopic. We got the first look at Christian Bale, Nick Cage. I didn't watch the trailer. I watched a trailer with no volume, and that's all, because I forgot what I was doing. But I'm dipping my toes in. I don't know. I'm not really in or out.
Yeah. This is a movie.
Certainly is.
Okay. John Madden's cool. Legend. I'm excited, I guess. Cool cast. I don't know. That's a random one. It's a very random one.
I'll go watch.
Yeah.
I think sports biopics that I've seen, a lot of sports movies, not all sports movies in general, tend to fall short for me. Not sure exactly how John Madden will play into it, like, because he's not actually the athlete playing. So I don't know. I'm interested, but I'm not in. I'm not out. I haven't watched the trailer, but we'll see. I like Nick Cage in certain roles.
Yeah, but like, what other, like, Nick Cage, and then but like Christian Bale, as I'm pretty sure he's playing Al Davis. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we had Kevin James playing Sean Payton. That was horrific. Yeah. So I think we got leaps and bounds better.
Yeah. I'm not a biopic guy. I think everybody knows that, but John Madden, I'll check out. I'll say in.
Okay. My toes are on the doormat.
Yeah. We're testing the waters. Marty Supreme, biggest A24 weekend opening ever. 28 million. I don't know how much legs it's going to have with the general audience finding out what it's really about and not about ping pong for the most part. And certain scenes people are being very sensitive towards. So I'm wondering if it'll be A24's biggest movie ever. I'm wondering if it'll cross 100 million. I doubt it'll cross 100 million. I'm thinking probably around 75, hopefully.
I'm going to tell you what I'm in. about here. I'm in on the marketing campaign that they went through for this movie to be a success during the holiday season because more movies should be marketed this way to get people in the theaters. And
Mm.
they went through lengths to make sure that this movie was successful at the box office opening. And I'm all in on that, and I hope more movies do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a note there. Christian just left no crumbs, so I'll leave that to him there. I agree.
Exactly. That is all I had for news. I was just looking up the biggest. I'm trying to think who made the most money domestically. Biggest movies.
For an A24.
Never mind. It might have been. Might have been. I mean, Civil War was last year. Marty Supreme broke that record. So, but not a very extensive set of films for A24. I mean, they've only been around for what 10, 11 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I love
Go
A24, though. I
Marty.
think everything they're doing is great.
Yeah.
A24 is great.
Go Marty.
I have a rumor that will be a good segue. I don't know if it's confirmed or not yet, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. But there is a rumor going around that Netflix cut like an hour or hours of footage from Stranger Things, Volume 2. Don't know why. We've not gotten any confirmation on that. I think that if that ends up being the case, I would not be surprised if that's true. As you guys know, a lot of the backlash that Volume 2 is getting. Like, what do you guys think about that potential rumor? And like, could you see that actually being valid?
Um, what I'll say is for that rumor to come out after everybody started shitting on it, it makes me a little bit suspicious about it. And also, maybe somebody on the inside tried to leak it and be like, "Hey, like let's blame it on Netflix and not on the Duffer Brothers and the writers and all that." So I don't love the timing of the leak at all,
Yeah.
and I am not gonna say that I agree that this is a real rumor yet. I think unless if we get real concrete evidence that that's real, then fine. But the timing of it, I think, is trash, and they're just trying to cover their tracks with a lot of people hating on it. So that's kind of
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah, I feel like the timing of it is just so weird. Because all this shit that's coming out, because people are just overnight, Stranger Things has gone into being one of the most talked about shows for all the right reasons to being one of the most talked about shows for holy shit, this is the greatest fall off. This is Game of Thrones season 8 level. Which I don't think it's. I don't even hate Game of Thrones season 8 level or that much, but I also don't think it's Game of Thrones season 8 level of garbage. And I think we'll talk about that more, but it's just very
Yeah.
random. Chase and I were texting last night about how they were editing the last couple of episodes a little over a week ago. Like, what are we possibly cutting? Like, how much stuff? Like, I'm sure it's small little details in editing and post, but if it was larger segments, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
We're gonna go into more of that, but like the are you guys seeing the side by side of Sadie Sink running on Twitter all the
Yes.
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Yes. It's very bad.
Very bad.
Very bad. I will say, like, I don't know if it has to do with Netflix pushing the Duffer Brothers and the creators to push the content since we've been waiting for it for so long, or if it has to do with maybe the Duffer Brothers just weren't ready and they were off their game. I don't know. We don't know the answer to any of those questions, but like the fact that this show is being treated as what looks like it's being rushed, I think is like such a disservice to the fan base and just like people who, you know, enjoy shows and movies in general, because like this is arguably the biggest show on TV right now. And for this to be rushed, and I know that a lot of people have complained in the past about how it's taking forever. Me personally, as a huge fan of the show, I would rather them take their time. I would have waited another 6 months if I had to make sure they got it right. And I'm not saying that they got it wrong. Like I don't hate Volume 2 as much as everyone else does, but I just wish that Volume 2 had been treated better. Season 5 has been treated better for the fans. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Christian.
Yeah, but this is the other thing I'm going to say. Netflix has been in the news, for better or for worse, a lot over the last couple of months. Stranger Things is, I think you could say, is Netflix's baby right now. This is the biggest TV show that can like it puts on an absolute event and a spectacle within a TV show, and it's something that other TV shows can't. And the Duffer Brothers and Stranger Things, each episode is over an hour long. They could easily have not had to rush everything. Like they could have gotten through what they needed to get through in these 3 episodes because they're still over an hour long. To come out and say like, "Oh, it's rushed because like we're cutting all this time," it's just so suspicious to me. Like especially because for Netflix, they're banking on Stranger Things to be so successful. Now it's getting all this backlash, which is obviously not great. Either way, they're getting the views, but the backlash is never good. Um, I Either way, like if you're gonna say it's rushed, the Duffer Brothers had over an hour in each of these episodes to figure out what they needed to get done. So like at the end of the day, if it falls flat, I think it's on the Duffer Bros and it's not on Netflix, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
The thing is, this is such a spectacle, and they absolutely botched this so badly. Like, people were not watching Christmas movies on Christmas. I wasn't. Everyone was tuned in. A lot of people were tuned in at 8 p.m. I was sat down on the couch at 8:05 and watched 3 hours straight, over 3 hours, 3.5 hours straight of Stranger Things. And so many other people were, because that's how much of a big spectacle this was. And then now it'll just be looked on so poorly. But like, imagine if it was right. Like, imagine if it was a banger. Like, this would have been something never forgotten for the right reasons. It would have been
Yeah.
a huge win for Netflix. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the Duffer Brothers say that Stranger Things spin-off show is a completely different story and a completely different location with completely different actors and characters. Is this the Duffer Brothers taking Stranger Things over to Paramount Plus, or do they still have this deal with Netflix that they're doing Stranger Things with them, or they could just, it's their child and they can do what they want? Because I know they signed a big deal with Paramount.
I think it depends on who owns the rights. If it's the Duffer Brothers or or Netflix to Stranger Things. I don't know the answer to that question, but that's my interpretation.
And another
I
thing,
think it
why are
is
we talking
theirs
about
though.
that right now when a few days
Yeah, I mean your
the show's
finale
still
is
going on?
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of sus things going on right now, and maybe we should just jump into the Stranger
Yeah,
Things
let's
segment at this
let's
point.
let's talk about it. So, Volume 2 dropped, as Jagger mentioned, Christmas Day. A lot of people were tuned in. We were tuned in. We were locked in. It's getting a lot of heat right now. Jagger dropped a great TikTok about it, talking about his thoughts in depth. If you want to go check it out. But so since Jagger was the first to drop his thoughts, Jagger, why don't you like start us off with how you felt about Volume 2 and the direction it's going?
Yeah. So I think we know that my thoughts last time on Volume 1 weren't as high as the rest, but I was still very much looking forward to Volume 2. I was seated 8:05, ready to go. Um, and I was like, okay, first 4 episodes build up. But then I'm expecting these three to start killing people off, have some big climactic event, get our characters regrouping, kind of Infinity War esque loss going into New Year's, and where we're gonna see this massive thing. But we got nothing. Not nothing. We got stuff. We'll talk about some stuff. But this is more filler than it was exposition. And the only exposition we got were exposition dumps about characters huddled around a table being like, holy shit, how did we miss this the whole time? This is what we need to do next. This is how we go forward. I'm okay with doing that like once or twice, but I felt like this happened like so many times throughout these 3 episodes, and just, and I said it in the beginning, oh my god, all these characters, there's so many and they're all in their different storylines. The way that they pulled them in together, horrible. Like, they were just like amassing, like slowly they started coming together until I see the fucking X-Men on my screen with Sadie Sink in a wheelchair running around like Hawkins, Indiana, and where she just like uses her powers. I forgot what she lifts up. Does she go into the upside down? Was that what it was? I forgot.
Sadie Sink.
11 pulled the I don't know. She did something, but there were,
She pulled the plate,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're asking if Sadie's there.
Yeah, where no, where did they
If
go? Did
Max
they,
is
was
there?
that the upside down? Was that like a bunker? What was
Yeah.
that? I completely
Yeah,
forgot.
they enter the upside down.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So there's the pictures going around all over Twitter right now, and it rightfully so, because it looks, there's 10 people there, and half of them are side characters that no one cares about. There are certain things where you need another character to pull him in to further the plot, like the teacher pulling him in. You pull him in and you get him back out right away because we are in the last 3 episodes. There is no reason to have him be part of this huge exposition. Oh my god, the show's ending. No one cares about him. They're going to use him. They're going to kill him off in next episode, and they're going to act like, oh my god, we went for it. We're starting to kill characters. No one cares. No one cares at all. A lot of shit just didn't happen, and just I think there are some great scenes. The three of us all feel the same about Will's coming out scene. The rest of the internet hates it, but it actually I actually was like started getting teary eyed. I was like, that is really sad. Like, it looks ridiculous having 15 people surround you, but like that really brings in the gravity of the moment of like, that's how scary something like that could be for a child, someone like just coming out this group of people, like, all in one fell swoop. So I really enjoy that. I didn't really enjoy Eleven's just mean mugging people the whole time, just looking like Mog or Christian the entire time. Mike and Lucas look like they don't care. Like some of the stuff and what Jonathan says, like, is cringy, but like it was really sad too, and just like really emotional. So I appreciate that. I'm trying to think if I want to give one more positive because I talked about it so badly. I think the Henry Creel thing in his mind is interesting and captivating to me. We haven't fully explored that, and what is in the box, the crate, when he goes down there in the mines. Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens there, and I'm interested to know more about the connection between the Upside Down, Dimension X, and Hawkins, how it's all relating from the tree. From the tree from Loki. So there are some good things. I just think they kind of messed up, and they're putting a lot of hope into 2 hours, and I hope it's unbelievable, but they needed to have some sort of big exposition here, a loss, so we can get back together. But no one's dead. No one lost anything. We're still just going. Holly is still fine.
Yeah. Chase, you want to go or you want me to take the reins?
Go ahead. You go and then I'll elaborate or give my thoughts.
Okay. I'll start off with I'm in the camp of Volume 2 did not live up to expectations, but it's not as bad as everybody on the internet is making it out to be. So that's kind of where I'm at. So not as great as I would have hoped it to be, but I still think there are some positives. I think Dustin and Steve, the way that they hashed out kind of like them like fighting over the last couple of episodes, I think that scene is absolutely phenomenal, and for them to rekindle their relationship in the way that they did, I thought was excellent.
By the way, too, with that scene, I think was some of the best acting we've gotten in Stranger Things in general, like from that scene, those two characters, those two actors.
Yes,
because Gaten is one of the only ones that can act on the show right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Gaten's incredibly talented, and I thought that scene was phenomenal. And to pair with that scene, you touched on it, the Jonathan and Nancy situation, their breakup. I think it makes a lot of sense. At first, I didn't really realize it was a breakup, and then I was like, yeah, I guess it was a breakup. But I think for Nancy not to end up with Jonathan or Steve does make the most sense for her character, because why even is she with any of them, like either of them? That makes sense. So I like that decision. I don't like that they haven't killed anybody. I'm going to say I always talk about how the best shows are able to kill off their main characters and continue with their show. But in fairness to Stranger Things, I think all the fans have been speculating, like they're going to kill off so many people. The Duffer Brothers never came out and said, like, expect deaths. But they did say, expect a dark Christmas. What was dark about these 3 episodes? That's what annoys me. Because if you're going to say that, then I'm expecting, oh shit, we're going to be hit with some sort of death, a main death, and that's going to, cause the dark Christmas. That didn't happen. So for them to drop that kind of fucked up, I think, expectations for some of the fans, and I think that is hurting it. So honestly, maybe the characters and the Duffer Brothers should have just stopped talking so much about the 3 volumes and just let it play out. And I think it could be hurting the fans' viewing of it. Um, Other things that, let's see, what else? I didn't like episode 7 really at all. It was just a complete setup and just a complete like planning for the finale. And like I get it, like a lot of shows do that leading up to the finale. But like Jagger said, also if you're gonna cut it into 3 volumes, like it needs to be more than just a setup. This is your, in a sense, finale for volume 2. We need something more than just a
Your
setup for
finale
the
for
final
the
episode.
finale.
Exactly, it's your finale for the finale, and I think they completely dropped the ball in that 3rd episode. Um, I don't understand the hate though for episode 5. I actually was sitting there. I was really enjoying episode 5, especially again when Will taps into Vecna again. I love that whole scene, and admittedly, maybe it doesn't look as good as maybe we would have hoped, especially like thinking like Stranger Things is just like crazy spectacle. Like there are some times it just doesn't look good, but that scene and that moment I really do love. Another thing that I don't like, sorry, I'm going back and forth. Another thing that I don't like was how long it took for Max and Holly to make their decision and stop hugging. And that monologue that Max had was just too long, too much. We've gotten the scene over and over and over again. Like, the song is running up that hill and she fucking never runs up that hill. Like, run up the hill. Let's go. Like, let's get out of there. That pisses me off a little bit. But I do love Sadie Sink. She's a great actress. Um, the whole thing with Mrs. Wheeler coming down and killing the 3 Demodogs is absolutely absurd. That's bad writing, like straight up bad writing. And the other thing is they've almost entirely written off Joyce, Hopper, and Eleven in these 3 episodes. There's no content with them. 11 is what Stranger Things is. Like, she is the main character, and 11 was just a complete afterthought in this, and she's always second to the scene in this season, and that pisses me off. But Chase, I'll let you get into your stuff. I kind of ranted there, just like a bunch of points, but
No.
yeah.
First, can you guys hear the alarm going off in the background?
I can.
Yeah, but it's not too bad.
Okay, whatever.
Is it you?
It's like my mom is cooking right now, so it's like the house is a little smoky, so that's why
What's
it's
she
going
burning?
Great. She cooks when I leave.
Is it really obnoxious or no?
No, it's fine for me.
Okay. I do want to say I think Christian, you hit the nail on the head with so many points. I think I agree with you more so than everybody else. I really liked episode 5. And again, like the way that it ended off with Henry Creel, where he's snapping back and forth between the orderly, he's snapping between Mr. Whatsit and between Vecna, I think is super cool. Super well done. I'm just getting distracted by this freaking alarm. Let's see what else. I think that this volume is getting a lot of hate. I don't want to say that it's unnecessary hate. I don't want to say it's unwarranted hate, but I do think that the hate is becoming a little much. And I think it's becoming like the popular thing to hate on volume 2. I do think it deserves, like, the fans have a reason to be upset. The fans have a reason to feel like someone should be dead by now. Like, I feel like there should be a death with a character by now. I think it's crazy that we've made it this far. And at this point, no one's in trouble. Like, everybody's just in the upside down. Like, there's no stakes right now with any characters. It's just like, okay, there's 15 of us in the upside down. Whatever, that's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine. But I think that's a problem. I also think, Christian, to your point about like the Jonathan Nancy breakup scene, I loved that scene. I thought it was so good. I think it was so needed for both characters. They've been on a downward spiral since episode 1 of season 4, and we finally like get closure on that relationship and those characters together. And I think they did that so well. But the one thing on the contrary to what they didn't do well with that scene is that there are people questioning whether or not they're still together. Like, that's a problem. That's a problem with your writing. I think they could have closed that up maybe a little better, tidied it up a little bit better. I think it's a bit nitpicky, but again, I love that scene. I think that Holly Wheeler having as much screen time as she's having is great, but I also think it's poor. To Christian's credit, I think that Joyce, one of the building blocks of Stranger Things, the main character of Stranger Things in season 1, 11, the building block of Stranger Things, they both feel like afterthoughts in volume 2 of season 5. I think that's a problem heading into the finale. I do love that they're really, really focusing on Vecna and his backstory and Henry Creel. And I loved how they explained the Upside Down. I thought it was so cool. I thought it made sense. And like Jagger said, I'm looking forward to learning more about the Upside Down. 2 hours though, I don't know if we're gonna get all the answers that we want. I'm not so sure, but I'm very selfishly like anticipating the finale in a good way, but also I feel like I should be more excited for the finale with how much I love the show. Like I've loved this show since I first watched it when I was like 13 years old, whatever it was. I remember I watched season 1 in one day, like on my phone, like laying under my covers, and it was just like such a great memory. And like the show has followed me. Like we're in our mid-20s now, and like it's followed us and followed us. And like to not be as excited as I feel like I should be feels like a disservice to me, and I feel like probably how the rest of the fan base feels in unison. So again, I'm ranting, I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm all rounded out with this for volume 2 for me, like my thoughts on, our general thoughts, whatever. Again, I just feel like it's getting a lot more hate than it deserves. I think that parts of it are warranted, but I think it's getting a lot of hate that it might not deserve as much as it's getting.
I completely agree. I think it's becoming the popular thing, like you said, to hate on this, and I think people are ratings bombing it on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, whatever it is. It's the lowest rated season, or episode 7 is the lowest rated in the entire show at 5.9. It's bad, but or like not great, but it's not that bad. Like I think people are purposely doing that to just because I think they're so disappointed with what's happening.
I'm totally with you there. I think that final episode, I would say episodes 6 and 7 are mid-tier episodes. They're not as bad as what people are making them out to be. The issue is it's coming in the final season leading up to the finale, and I think that's why people are so emotional about it. Like, come on, I've been growing up with Stranger Things for the last decade, and then the 2 episodes leading up to the finale where you need to conclude it in 2 hours, they dropped the ball with that. I understand people can feel that way about it, but like you said, like in the grand scheme of things, you might look back on it and rewatch and be like, oh, like these episodes were just kind of like middle of the pack, and if they hit the finale and they do a good job with it, then we might look back and be like, oh, it's not as bad as what we thought. Yeah, but I do really like what they're doing with the Upside Down. The whole thing with the bridge, the Upside Down being the bridge to the 2 worlds and kind of merging them together. I think that explanation, I don't know if anybody could have really thought about that going into like season 5. I really like that idea. But I have a question for you guys. I've been seeing this on the internet. In Vecna's world, where he has the kids trapped in that like spider looking thing, do you guys believe that is the Mind Flayer and the Mind Flayer is the big bad, or is it Vecna?
Well, I've been seeing that where the kids are trapped, it's kind of formulated looking like a dragon. I don't know if you guys have seen that on TikTok, but there are teeth, there are eyes. People are speculating that Vecna is building the dragon right now with the kids inside. I think that's a pretty cool theory. I do think that the big bad is the Mind Flayer. Yes, to answer your question, I think it's all building to where Vecna is not necessarily the big bad. He's just like
A puppet.
the messenger in a way.
But would that take away from everything?
Yes.
We already got that in season 4 that Vecna's been this big bad the whole time. Mm-hmm. And then in season 5 in the last episode, oh no, it's really been this the whole time. Like I think that might take away from my love of season 4.
Exactly. If this is what it turns out to be, at least they could have told us at the end of this episode and like led it with like a crazy scene leading up to the finale, rather than if this is what it is, we get it in the finale and then we only get a very short period of time to explore it. That's what's kind of upsetting me about it. Yeah.
I agree. I had another point that I wanted to make. If you have one, Jagger, go ahead.
Did I make it up that the place is called Dimension X? I feel like we established that it's called Dimension X.
It is, I think.
It is Dimension X, yeah. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Um,
I think it's a cool. I think those are cool things wanting to merge them. I think it's pretty crazy that I think it's official that like Holly Wheeler has had the most time, most on screen time during the season. Mike Wheeler was a building block of the show. Where the fuck is Mike Wheeler?
Yeah.
and it's crazy too because he felt pretty relevant through the first 4 episodes
The
to
first
me at
episode,
least, and then
I was
these
like, holy
three,
shit! I was like, this. I was like, this could be like Mike's season. Like Mike's gonna be the one to die in the
yeah,
end and sacrifice. No, I don't feel like that at all. I do you think that they're doing the Holly Wheeler thing to like appeal to younger audiences and like kind of have a younger kid because like we appeal to the core five or whatever they core five or six because that's like we grew up with them. Are they trying to like bait these younger kids and be like, okay, this is who you can appeal to? Like here's delightful Derek and here's Holly Wheeler. Like let's jump, let's have them. Like
I think for me, I think the show needs kids. I think the show is built on children. Um, to your point, like Holly having the most screen time is a little crazy. I think that her arc makes sense. Like she makes sense for the show. But for her to have the most screen time, like if you had told me that going into season 5, I'd have been like, "You're crazy. She's not going to have the most screen time in season 5." Um, I don't know. I just wish that they had not gone away from a lot of the characters that it seems like that they've done because we've been building these relationships for a decade, and now all of a sudden it's like a lot of them are side pieces.
what do you think
Yeah.
about 11? What do you think about
I'm
her and
so
8 in their end goal in this next episode?
I don't trust 8.
yeah. I
I
yeah.
don't trust 8. I think 8 is onto something. I think 8 is trying to manipulate Elle into offing herself. Um, I don't trust 8 at all.
Do you think
I think it's tough
8
to
is working for Vecna?
so I don't. I think 8 truly just doesn't want Ella to survive because then there could just be another Dr. Brenner to take Elle's blood and make more Vecnas. So I think that really is her true motivation because she saw her other brothers and sisters die and like they tried to do it with them or whatever. So I think her true motive right now is just making sure 11 doesn't survive. But Kali has played more of a role in the season than I think anybody would have hoped. I think it's too much and it's blocking 11 from being the main character in her show. Like this is 11's show and I think it's completely blocking her out of it and that's what I don't like about it. I can see her possibly working with Vecna, but I do think that that is just her motive with trying to make sure that 11 dies so nothing gets repeated.
So they could like seal off this bridge and everything. But wouldn't that
Yeah,
mean Will has to die too?
could.
I don't
Could.
think so. Because they describe Will as like a sort of like a sorcerer. So like Will's powers are simply through Vecna. So Will only has powers if Vecna exists. So let's say Vecna dies, I don't think Will has powers. Does that make sense? Or like the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, it's
He
not like
only gets
Vecna's
powers
keeping him
around the
alive.
Mind Flayer, right? But then Will gets hurt when the Mind Flayer or anything else gets hurt. So maybe if they were to kill Vecna or the Mind Flayer, maybe Will dies along with it. I don't know that.
Yeah, that'd be a sick way to send off Will if like Will like sacrifice himself to kill Vecna in that way and send it like when
Yeah.
L was supposed to be the one, but he does it. That'd be beautiful. Um,
Jagger, what did you think about the scene where Will is tapping into Vecna and he's telling Max she needs to run? And where do you rank that scene and like Stranger Things lore? Like, do you have that scene as high as Christian and I do? Because I know him and I loved that scene.
no, I think it's good, but what's your favorite scene in the show? Is it running up that hill? That might be my favorite scene in the
God,
entire show.
that's so tough. I would say it's between running up that hill or when Will finally gets his powers. I loved that scene too.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
those are
up
the obvious
there
ones.
for me with that, but like I think it's good, but I don't know why Will like you got like in the end of episode 4, Will getting those powers and stopping all of the Demogorgons, like it doesn't hit me like I feel like it should. I'm really not sure why. So that one doesn't hit me as hard. I think it was cool. I think it was a good use of the powers, and I think it was a good. They did it at a good point for him to stop and help Max and Holly escape. Like the timings seem off when they do certain things. Like Will coming out
Yeah.
right before does not make sense to me timing wise. It makes it seem like, oh, like if you guys don't, like, Vecna knows a secret, like if you guys don't know that I'm gay, we're gonna die. The fuck?
Yeah.
What do we mean? Um
Yeah.
could have done that earlier in the show, earlier in the season somehow. So the timing wise just seems off, but that I think they nailed pretty perfectly. But I just don't get hit like by Will's powers. Maybe because I felt like we already knew that Will was going to have powers coming into the season. Not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I will say I've seen some of the actors, specifically the guy who plays Vecna. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I love him. He's great.
Jamie Campbell Bower, I think his name is.
Yeah, he's awesome, and super excited for him to be in Ring of Power season 3. That's gonna be awesome. But anyways, I saw him go on record saying episode 7 is the absolute perfect setup to episode 8, and episode 8 is something nobody can imagine or predict. So that still
say that
gets
again?
me excited. So he went on record and said episode 7 is a perfect setup for episode 8, and everything that happens in episode 8 is something that fans would never expect or predict. And it's a perfect conclusion to the story. So even after everything that's going on, these actors are still doubling down on the show.
Yeah.
And saying, we really believe that this conclusion, this finale is really going to hit for all our viewers. So that's still, yeah, I'm obviously excited regardless of that quote, but it's still like, I'm still so excited to get into this finale, especially it being in the theaters.
Yeah.
It'll be such a cool experience. I just hate the finale to episode 7. It pisses me off.
I do want to say,
what do you hate about it? Like, what specifically is it? Because we didn't get more, or the way that we physically left off with him at the table, or like the Will stuff?
It's not the Will stuff. It's not the way they left off the table. I'm fine with that. It's more of the first. I'll tell you exactly what happened. So we watched the first 40 minutes of the episode, and Rachel and Ava had to get up to go to the bathroom. We paused it, and we were like, "Oh my god, there's only 24 minutes left in this episode, and literally nothing has happened. Nothing happened in the first 40 minutes of this episode. It was straight up like the characters grouping together and plotting like how they can go about like, you know, like the worlds are going to merge in a day. Like how could they go about solving or like defeating Vecna in the next like 24 hours or whatever it is, and like all like characters are trying to come up with a solution, and that goes on for 40 minutes, and like that's like classic Stranger Things, but it goes on for too long in your second to last episode of the show.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like not enough happens in this episode for me to be left with, okay, like we're going into the finale set up perfectly for it. And Chase doesn't know this, but Game of Thrones is notorious for their best episodes being the second to last episode in every season, because it's always fucking perfect setups for the finale. And that like gets you going for the finale. It's like, oh my God, like we just left off with a banger. Like, where is this going to go? And Stranger Things doesn't do that.
Here it doesn't do it.
The thing
it doesn't do it here.
Gonna bring up is the 2 hours gives me hope, because the episode before the finale, we basically have a penultimate built into the finale, where that first hour could be like that penultimate, and then we could really wrap it up nicely in the end. If they do some shit where they leave some shit like untied because they want to bring it back, possibly bring it back in another spin-off show, that will ruin the show, and that will ruin the finale for a lot of people. I want to ask you guys, what was your, maybe 3 different ratings out of 10? What was your excitement coming out of Volume 1? And then what is your excitement going into the finale?
I'm biased, so let me go first. I'm definitely biased. My excitement coming out of Volume 1 was a 10.
Whoa.
And my excitement going into the finale is a 9. And that's not because I think Volume 2 could have been the worst thing ever, and I would still be excited because of how much I love this show, how much I love these characters. like these characters make me feel a way that like I can't explain. I just have like a soft spot for all of them. I love this show so much, and I'm excited to see how the Duffer Brothers wrap it up. And to that point, I feel like the Duffer Brothers are very intentional. I feel like there's just no way we're gonna go out on a bad taste. There's no way.
Yeah. My excitement levels coming out of volume 2, probably a strong 9. I think they wrapped up that episode 4 incredibly well, and we're like, okay, where are we gonna go with this? Coming out of these 3 episodes, my excitement levels maybe at a 7, just because I'm so nervous. I'm just like so like I'm always going to be excited for this finale, but I'm so nervous about how they're going to wrap this up, because it can truly make or break what we ultimately think of Stranger Things. Like, we'll always think back on all the great moments throughout the seasons, but Game of Thrones is always going to have a sour taste for everybody. And Stranger Things, unfortunately, it's possible that if they drop the ball, it could be looked at in the same light. Even though I don't think it's nearly as bad as what Game of Thrones did, but Stranger Things, a lot of people are talking about it just like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jagger? What about your
I would say
excitement
I'm at
level?
the same. I was a 9, even though I was much lower. I felt like on volume 1 as everyone else, but I was still super excited for what's to come. And holy shit, like this could be amazing. And now I'm at a 7, I would say as well. Um, I'm not like I don't even know when I'm going to watch it. Like you guys have a set time, like you will be watching it. I am not sure, and I'm okay with not knowing that. I want it to be where I can just watch it, sit down and watch it 2 hours straight. Um, Usually I would be very worried and I would try and watch it as fast as I can about spoilers. I am worried about spoilers, but I am not as much like focused on it. Like I want to like enjoy it and sit back. I also think being chronically online has lowered my excitement level a little bit. Like seeing this shit, like I cannot tell you the amount of times I've seen L mean mugging on my timeline. Like it is
It's so bad.
unbelievable. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen the picture of Sadie Sink with the podcast headphones on, like and talking to Holly Wheeler. Like it's unbelievable. Um, like I think that is kind of hindering a little bit my excitement, my experience, but I don't know when I'm going to be watching. Like and that's crazy to say. Like you guys will be watching what
Yeah.
noon on the first.
The first at noon or 12:30, whenever it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
In the theaters.
I don't
scared.
know.
Um,
I don't know.
Yeah, but like you guys said, I feel like it's just become a popular thing right now on social media to kind of hate on this volume 2. And at the end of the day, like, we've had these characters for the last decade and we've all fallen in love with all of these characters. There's no way you can not still be excited about the finale. If you're still watching at this point, you love the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching it. Unless if you're just watching it, if you're like in the film
Some people
space and
hate
you're just looking for
watch.
clicks. Sure, yeah, you can hate watch, but really, if you're watching the show, it's because you love the characters and you love the show. And
Yeah.
if that's how you feel about them, you still have to be so excited for this finale. And you know how intentional the Duffer Brothers are. You have to trust that they're still going to end this in a good way.
One last point for me, and I do want to ask you guys: do you feel like these 3 episodes are getting a lot of hate because they're not as action packed as a lot of the other Stranger Things episodes we've gotten in the past? Like these 3 episodes were like, again, very much so set up. We said the first 4 were very set up, but like even the first 4 episodes had a lot of action. These 3 didn't really have a lot of action outside of like a couple of really solid sequences. Do you think that if this wasn't very like lore dependent, these 3 episodes, that people would talk about it more if there were more action in it?
I think an important thing to look at is looking back at season 4 and how they handled that splitting up of the season. We got like we were treated nicely back then. Like
Yeah.
that those first 4 episodes, like that left us wanting so much more, but we also got so much and like lore, action, like ready to go. Like that was like they gave me the favorite scene, my Mac, like the Max running up the hill scene in the first 4 episodes, 5 episodes, or whatever it was. And then in the second half of the season, and then the second volume, they still delivered, gave us more action, and then still left us off and like an unbelievable, gave us more lore. It's just it feels like we're going like up a steady hill, and it doesn't feel like it felt
Like
like
it's
this.
plateauing a bit.
Yeah, and I just think that they kind of
Yep.
messed up in that way. I still have faith in the Duffer Brothers. They've showed me through 4 seasons in 10 years they know what they're doing. So I have faith. I just think that they might have taken a different angle or different route than a lot of other people would, including myself.
They've taken some
Yep.
risks, no doubt.
They've taken some risks, and I think one of those risks was releasing this season in 3 volumes, and I think that could also be hurting the viewer experience. It's hard to leave off episode 4 being a banger, episode 7 being a banger, and then the finale to be a banger, because viewers are expecting like a finale in each volume, and TV shows aren't really structured that way. Most of the time the lead up to the finale is a setup, but the way that it is structured, I think, is hurting the viewership for some people. But Chase, more to your point, I think one thing that people just aren't liking is how disconnected some of the characters feel. We're almost at the end, and yes, we're finally together as one in the show, but everybody felt so separate for 7 episodes, and some of the main characters have just kind of been
Side
brushed
pieces.
over.
Yeah.
I had
Jagger.
another thing with the structure. I think that's a problem that a lot of TV shows are dealing with now. Like, it was for the longest time ever since like the dawn of television. It was weekly releases, like every couple weeks, and the season ends. Then it was streaming, binge, go. You got them all right away. And now we're kind of going back to television shows don't know what to do. Some release, some binge release. Some are doing 3 episodes on the first day, 3 episodes in a couple weeks, 3 episodes, and then like some are like every Sunday. And I just think it's a problem with. I think we need to go back to kind of just giving everyone the season, like just give it to us, or just give us 1 episode a week. Like, I would prefer the binge. I think it gives me the opportunity to watch when I want in the best possible time. But like the thing with It Welcome to Derry, I tuned into the first episode, watched on Sunday, and then I'm like, okay, that was good. I would have then watched the next episode right after. But the fact that it was a week release, I'm like, yeah, I kind of just forgot about it.
That's fair.
So
That's a really great point.
I don't know if the way that they're structuring it kind of just messed it all up. But the fact that they're releasing this in theaters is huge and so cool. But I'm not even going. Like, and that's crazy. Maybe I will go. Maybe I'll try and find a time.
I do have some breaking news. The guy who plays Mr. Clark in Stranger Things, the actor Randy Havens, I think his name is, did just post that there's no secret cut of the show. Don't believe everything you see. So that throws that out of that gets that out of the equation. But Jagger, I know you have to get to dinner soon. Do you have time for a quick game?
Yeah, I had what game?
Quick trivia.
Yes,
Sure.
Go ahead. I also wanted one more, one death prediction from each of us.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. All right.
One death. Do you have yours, Jagger? You have your set?
I didn't know if I wanted to go the easy way out right now and say 11, but I don't want to.
Let's go the hard way.
I'm going to say my most likely is obviously 11.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want that to happen because it's just too predictable. But I think that my sleeper pick is going to be Joyce. She's been my sleeper pick through the whole season. I think it's going to be Joyce, if anyone goes.
Yeah, Joyce was a pick at the start for me, but like the way that we haven't gotten any development or anything from her this season, I think that would just kind of be a throwaway death at this point. Just like cost Will something. I'm going to go with Will. I think that's probably the way that he's powers. I think his character's developed throughout the whole show. I think it'd be a nice conclusion, him sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Mike. I think if Mike were to die, that affects so many. I mean, every death is going to affect the characters, but Mike is going to affect so many characters. Like, Will is going to be distraught. 11 is going to be distraught. I think it's going to just absolutely, it's going to kill all of the cast members. And if they can write that well, I think they can really, really kill this finale if they are able to kill off Mike in a good way.
I think we all have some valid predictions. We're excited. I'm ready to go.
Right.
None of them are going to hit. I honestly think it's more likely that nobody dies than we get a core character killed at this point, in my opinion.
Same.
Someone has to die. Somebody has to die.
Let's do some trivia. I have some easy questions, and then if it's too easy, we can ramp it up a bit. I'm using this website, so let's do this thing. We're gonna start off as pretty much as easy as it gets. What is the name of the town where Stranger Things is set?
Hawkins.
Is this a rattle off each? Because Christian is delayed for me, where his voice comes in after. His camera comes
Let's work as a team. Let's work as a team.
Work as a team. Work as a team.
Okay.
So you got that one right. Let's see. Let's go to what is Dustin's pet in season 2 called?
Dart.
Yeah, it's very easy. These are too easy, so let me move on. What does Jonathan Byers love to do as a hobby?
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed, yeah.
Fair. That's not the answer, but that's fair. I would give that to you if I made the quiz, but that's not the answer. Do you have another guess you guys want to throw out?
I don't
He doesn't like the news. We found out he doesn't like the newspaper shit. So,
think along that track, like the newspaper route.
Didn't he do something he liked, like the stereo or something, like the I forgot what it's called.
Give us a hint. Maybe that was a hint.
It's along like the journalistic track.
Is it like
he likes to write?
Not right.
Read.
Not read. You want the answer?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a throwback. But photography. He was a big photographer in the first couple seasons. I think they've gone away from that a little bit.
Nowadays,
But
a while. Yeah.
Next question. What was the name of Hopper's daughter who passed away? We've seen the sequence a bunch.
Sarah.
Nice. Good job. I didn't think you guys were going to get that one.
I would never have gotten it.
Let's see. What does Steve use to fight the Demodogs in season 2?
I think it's a bat with spikes, if I'm not mistaken.
This guy knows ball.
Holy
this guy is absolutely dominating.
Should I leave the episode now?
Which character was the first to be targeted by Vecna?
Oh, it's Will. He was the first one that was taken.
In technicality,
unless if there's it's Nancy's friend.
It's not Nancy's friend.
It's not Nancy's friend.
It's the cheerleader from Eddie Munson.
Oh, Chrissy.
Chrissy. Good job,
yeah.
Chrissy.
Okay. Oh, I guess because Vecna technically wasn't around then, right?
Technically, it was his mother.
No.
Gotcha.
Let's do one more, and then I'm gonna try to find a really hard one for you guys. I think you could get. Which song does Will use as code for the gang in season 2? What song does he use as code for the gang to communicate?
I don't know if I'll get this one.
I know in season 1, his song with Jonathan is a big
big plot point. You're on the right track.
Plot point, but I can't fucking remember what it was. He sings it all the time in the Upside Down.
He does. He does.
Why can I only think of Running Up That Hill? Get the song out of my head.
I'm gonna be pissed off about this one.
I think you're gonna be upset. Yeah,
I'm gonna be furious because I don't have it.
I don't have it either right now.
No. You want me to give it to you?
It's not. Why am I thinking like Everybody Wants to Rule the World? I think Marty Supreme's got to me. I don't think it's
Ah, shoot.
Give it to us.
Should I stay or should I go?
That pisses me off.
I knew you weren't going to like that.
God, dude.
And I'm going to give you guys one last hard one that I don't think you'll get. but which fast food chain does Argyle work for in season 4? Think along like the lines of someone who is always stoned, like, yeah, man, like someone who works like, what do you call that type of person?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god. He's talking about the guy who had like the
Stoner.
long hair. Yeah,
Think
the
about
I
like
know who
stoner
he
guy.
who does
is.
this?
I know who he is.
Like who does this? Like generally speaking, like what type of person does this?
Yeah, I know.
Stoners?
Sure, stoner, but there's something associated with
With
this
this,
type of person and this.
like, catch my riff, dude.
Yes, go ahead. Keep going. Catch a what? Catch a what? Not a riff,
Catch a drift.
not a drift.
Catch a
There's a phrase for it. Catch a what?
Catch a high?
catch a wave.
Catch a wave?
Catch a
Catch a
wave.
wave. Catch a wave. Okay. So catch a wave.
What's going on?
What do you call a person riding waves?
Surfer.
Okay. And what do we think the pizza place is called?
Pizza surfers.
Cowabunga.
Cow- Surfer Boy Pizza is the answer.
Yeah,
Surfer boy
absolutely.
pizza.
Surfer
That
boy
was a
pizza.
tough one.
You tried to
We almost got
feed it
there.
to us. We'd never get that. Never getting that.
Yeah. I thought maybe there was a chance, but oh well. Anyways, that rounds out the trivia for you guys. Little basic trivia that we just ran through. But any more thoughts on volume 2 that you guys want to get off your chest before we sign off here?
This might be our shortest episode ever.
Could be.
Yeah. I'm going to just say that I really don't think Volume 2 is as bad as everybody thinks. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I've been trying to be more positive when it's coming to film and TV. I'm like, just look at the positives. Like, it is so fun watching all this shit. Like, I don't need to nitpick it. So, like, I still had a good time watching these episodes. I had a good amount of eye rolls, but still watching something that's I think is good.
Yep.
I think when the show is done, I think we're going to look back at volume 2 and we're going to say, okay, a lot of the information we got in volume 2, a lot of the things we got in volume 2 makes sense and it was necessary for the finale. Depending on however the Duffer Brothers wrap it up, I genuinely believe that they're so calculated and just dialed into their craft. I can't imagine them selling on a finale. So
Hope you're right.
those are my thoughts. Thank you all for listening to episode 48 of the Watchlist podcast. This has been our Stranger Things Volume 2 episode. I believe it lines up next week for the finale, so I'm not sure if we're going to do a finale and another additional movie where we just pick kind of like how we did with the holdovers, but be on the lookout for that. We'll discuss with the group as the week goes on, but make sure to follow us on TikTok at the Watchlist podcast. Been posting some content there. Follow Jagger if you want to see his Stranger Things review in 3 minutes time, whatever that was. But we'll see you all next week when Stranger Things is finished, and we'll catch you when maybe we're in the right side up. We'll see.
Hopefully. See ya.
Happy holidays.